At least my hair actually looks good this time. What's up, guys? It's me, SS95 here, back again with another video, and today we are finally here with the part 2 that I promised all of you. So, last time we did chain Kirbyus, so now we will be doing Xiphoid Xcalibur, another kind of vintage Beyblade returning, not exactly vintage, but another returning character from the Beyblade Burst series. The last time we saw a Excalibur was in Cho-Z, which was Buster Excalibur. And originally, I wasn't going to do this, and I was just going to wait until Achilles comes out. But it turns out, similar to Kirbyus, I actually have kind of a lot to say about Xiphoid Excalibur. It comes with some really, really cool stuff that I kind of also want to get into. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road.
Welcome back to the channel, BBGs.
So, this is not a random booster. This is actually a...
Excalibur family of bays.
This is actually just a regular booster, thankfully.
We saw Excalibur was Buster Excalibur.
Yeah,
Which was an
so many
okay
years
release.
since the last
It wasn't...
iteration. Feels like an eternity since Buster Excalibur. So this is the Xiphoid Excalibur starter set. And of course it comes with the Power Custom Sword Launcher.
It actually looks cool.
This is going to be the most epic launcher to date. Guaranteed.
And I kind of wish that Xiphoid Excalibur came when the anime was still, going.
Word. It would have been so hyped to actually see Xiphoid Excalibur.
Yeah, I just wish Xander actually came back. That would be pretty cool. And not just give to some rando character.
So we are obviously going to have to go through that. Talks about the mode on the top. There is just, oh my god, so much.
Yeah, there's a lot jam-packed into this bay.
Pays homage to the original Excalibur design.
Oh yeah.
You see a little bit of each design within this new Excalibur.
Word. Let's dive right in. So let's get started and look at the back of the box. There is so much going on, like I mentioned. We'll start off with the parts. Obviously, we have the Excalibur D,
Which is looking sick, by the way.
The Xiphoid blade.
Like, bro, look at there is so much going on here.
But it doesn't stop there. We got that Xanthus disc. The shape is looking crazy.
Xanthus looks iffy, but at the same time, though, it looks pretty cool.
Match up with the sword on the blade, so this is gonna be an epic combination. Now, probably the weakest part of the combo is gonna be that sword dash driver. The original sword driver wasn't that good.
Okay. This was the main issue that a lot of people had when Xiphoid Excalibur was announced, and that it was going to have sword dash. Sword is probably one of the worst drivers to date in the Beyblade Burst line. I say one of because there are obviously worse drivers out there, but this is one of them. This is one of those, like, joke drivers that they kind of just added in. And I kind of hate when Takara Tomy kind of does this. Gives us drivers that literally make no sense, even though they try to make them better. But, hey, I mean, it's still pretty cool that we have Sword Dash, but I think what a lot of people would want, a lot of people would have wanted was probably Iron Dash. I don't know if Iron Dash exists at all, but Iron would have made more sense. And I don't know, maybe to some extent, I think maybe Impact would have been pretty good too. And maybe to some sort of extent, Extreme would have been a pretty good driver. But anything, I mean, I get anything other than Sword, though. That's the thing. Anything other than Sword is probably, like, the better way to go. But overall, though, it still looks like a pretty decent combo. It's just the one letdown is Sword Dash.
And now we just have the same driver, but with a better spring lock, essentially. So those are the parts.
Okay.
That's obviously the star of the show, the bay itself, but we have a lot more going on with this bay. Down here, you can see that there is the launcher graphic
this
here.
launcher looks insane. I love that. I love this launcher. This is so cool. Like, I'd say this is better than the digital sword launcher. But at the same time, though, it still looks weird.
We have this graphic here, this image that shows the different modes with the Xiphoid Excalibur. So of course, when you first launch the Bay, it starts with normal mode, and then once it unlocks a couple of times, it activates Ichigeki mode, which is basically the one-shot mode or the one-hit mode. So it gets
so it has a one-shot
and then
move.
when the
That's
DB
great.
activates that extra metal, moving all of the weight to that.
I'm gonna get
one
into that actually because I find that interesting.
Way harder. But it doesn't stop there because you also get the BU lock, which is just
The burst
such a
ultimate
simple
lock.
yet amazing way to make your Bay burst even less, make those locks even stronger. So the BU lock also activates pretty much at that point. So not only does it hit harder, but your Bay is also going to be harder to burst. So it does show you some focus points there on the Xanthus disc and on the back of the DB core.
There's so many features and gimmicks. You can really appreciate the little details.
That is pretty much it. That is the meat of this release. The only thing
So
left
far, so
is
good.
It's unboxing time.
All right, here we go.
Great purchase overall. You guys have to buy this one. Haven't even actually opened up the case.
There's a lot in this.
We already need to tell you that you need to get this.
Look at that.
Amazing.
Oh, that goes
How
hard.
big this layer is.
That goes hard.
Bare right now, but I'm sure
That goes hard, man. No one can tell me otherwise. That goes hard. Okay, now we finally get Beyblades that have a little bit more stickers to them. But it's still not like as insane as some other releases though. But then again, half those stickers are for the launcher.
With all of the parts, it's looking so fresh.
Crazy,
the stickers were so
bro.
satisfying to put on, nice and big, and obviously
Wow.
it just made everything pop so much more. And let's start.
That's
with
crazy.
The DB core. You have the big X.
That's fresh.
Highlighted by
That
another
is so
sticker.
fresh.
So fresh, so nostalgic. This DB core actually has 2 special features. So of course.
Okay, so
metal
there's the
sword.
sword.
The main body of the sword is
Camera focus.
inside this DB core. It is actually recessed when you first launch the Bay, and then after it unlocks twice, it'll actually shoot out, and then all of the weight is focused at the point on the blade.
Wow.
In the previous Xcalibur design, we actually saw the tip itself come out as an activation.
Right.
In Xiphoid Xcalibur, the activation is actually in the middle of the sword, inside the DB core.
Yeah,
Which is crazy.
They actually mixed it up here. Integrating the metal sword into the DB core feels very modern. Excalibur is now keeping up with the times.
So once the sword springs out, you gotta reset it every single time before you launch it. So you just have to remember to click it back in.
Second very important feature is actually on the back of the DB core. As you saw on the back of the box, this DB core features the BU lock.
The burst
It is
ultimate
actually
lock.
really hard to tell, but there are 2 very, very, very small tabs on the back of this DB core, which will fit in together with the Xanthus disc to provide you that extra resistance.
Interesting,
We'll go into that a little
interesting.
bit more once we actually review the Xanthus disc, but this is a nice.
I feel like those are gonna
feature
wear
that's
down
very
after a
easy to
while.
with, and it's
I
very,
really
very
feel
good.
like it's gonna wear down and like
Alright,
break
let's move
apart
on
after
to
a
the
while.
Xiphoid BU
That's just
blade.
how I feel
Is
personally.
this me, or does this actually really look like Siege Excalibur?
Oh yeah, a
Just
lot.
Slightly bigger. That's
Yeah,
what
a
you might
lot
think
of
it.
inspiration
What
came
you
from
guys think?
Siege.
Traditionally, like Stephen was saying, you would think that Takara Tomy would put the metal sword into the BU blade design here. Xiphoid actually doesn't have that much of the sword in its design. It actually just has the plastic tip there. The tip does protrude out just like any other Excalibur Bay. This point, of course, is supposed to line up with the Xanthus disc, and then once the weight shifts from the DB
So in a
activation,
sense,
this point's gonna hit very
it's
hard.
like Xeno Excalibur for the most part. It's like Xeno Excalibur back in the day.
Xiphoid Excalibur. And we ain't even done yet.
Oh my
So
god.
next is the Xanthus disc. The shape is pretty abnormal, as you can see. It's kind of round.
It reminds me of Zenith a little bit, just because it has plastic and metal
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
design.
Once the Bay unlocks twice,
But at the same time, though,
the Xanthus disc would have shifted over a couple of times, and the point.
yeah, and it lines up just like that. Wow, and it actually lines up perfectly too.
And like we were talking
Wow.
about earlier, the Xanthus disc features the BU lock.
I can't wait for Hasbro to screw this up.
In combination with the DB core to actually have
Oh my
the BU
God.
lock feature. It's kind of hard to spot, but if you take a close look at the metal tabs, where normally there would be like a symbol engraved on this disc, helping you distinguish which disc
Oh,
this is.
so
Instead,
that's where the
these
tabs are.
raised metal pieces, and these make contact with the
That's
tabs
gonna wear
on
for
the DB
sure.
core, which in turn makes the Beyblade harder to burst.
That's gonna wear down for sure. It has to. There is no
The disc
way.
will actually stop rattling. It locks it up so tight that there's actually barely any movement on the disc.
I can't believe it took like, what, 7 years for Beyblade Burst to figure out that, you can actually reduce the rattling of the disc.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's such a simple design for a burst lock.
This BU lock disc actually worked with the other
Which is so
BU
cool.
like Belio.
Oh.
So they actually designed those grooves when BU became a thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like an Easter egg when BU first started. People noticed that there were some grooves there in that corner.
Oh yeah,
And
even
it was just like
Belial
they
has
used
it.
that for.
Wow.
It's gonna be for some sort of upgrade later on.
But as you can
Not
see,
knowing when it was
like
for
to
at
me,
all.
it feels like it's
Now,
wearing.
designed
As you can
this
see,
with
like
Belio 2
it
DB
feels like it's
can
wearing
also
down.
Use that BU lock feature. Now let's talk about the armor. Just like any other armor, there might be like
The armor
one
looks
feature,
alright.
there's usually not
I
that
still
much
wish we
shape
got
of
stickers
the
with
armor
them,
pieces.
but at the
So
same
the
time
one
though,
armor
it's still,
has
I'd
the
say it holds up pretty well.
There is a little bit of extra weight on one end of the
But hey, at
armor
least we
piece.
got an original armor though. That's pretty
The
sick.
armor itself also got that point that sticks out, so it matches pretty perfectly.
Yep, following the theme. Last, but probably the least, we
Yep.
got that Sword Dash driver.
The
So this is an
disappointment.
upgraded version of the Sword driver.
The
that
disappointment of the
with
whole
Buster
release,
Excalibur,
honestly.
tighter spring
Okay, I
lock,
wouldn't say it's like
obviously
bad,
harder
but
to
it's
burst.
just
Movements with
it's
this
just a
one was kinda
letdown
like, eh.
because it could have been better.
Protruded blade that tend to scrape a lot.
Yeah, those protrusions on the driver don't even line up with the points on the rest of the combo, so it's actually useless. In the
Wow.
original, if you tipped over just a little bit, it would touch the stadium floor, and then you're kind of screwed, right? Like, you kill all your stamina. Alright, so that was the bait, but before we actually put it together, you cannot forget about the brand new
Oh yeah, that looks sick.
I'm gonna mix it
That looks
for sure.
clean, bro.
This is it, guys.
Like,
This
bro,
is the
look
brand
at
new
this.
launcher. Overall,
Look
it
at that.
look very similar to the previous iterations, but you do get the brand new DB system, or the DB launcher system. So it comes with the powered gear unit, of course,
Wow.
like that, which was originally introduced with, the Savior Valkyrie.
Yep.
And then the spin unit is just like a normal one, but you can also switch this out too. The sword.
But who would want to switch it
actually
out?
doesn't come out unless you have your gear unit in here.
Oh, so it
But this is
works
also
just
very
like the
similar as well
string
to
for the most
the
part.
old one. So
I don't know.
Dual spin, right?
It's a little weird to me, but at the same time though, I think you really have to let it like grow on you.
Left and right spin. Hopefully this doesn't break as easily as the digital sword launcher and the original, but I have a feeling
It's
this will
gonna-
actually be
I feel like
durable.
hopefully they make it more durable,
Partly because of the sick.
but at the same time though, I'm not gonna hold my breath for that
I feel
one.
like it's still relevant today.
Yeah, I agree. The sword launcher still feels pretty good when you use it, but it lacks the power now. So hopefully this one will actually make up for that. Okay, now it's time to put the bait together.
Alright,
for
here
you
we go.
guys. So I find that it's actually easier if you put the armor in first like that. And we'll put it in low mode, obviously, because that's the better mode for the most part. Lock in the tabs. And we'll put the Xanthus disc in like this. Driver. Oh, pretty
Ooh,
tight.
that sounds
Nice.
tight.
There we go. That is the completed.
That's
Xiphoid
nice.
Xcalibur. Let us know what you guys think.
That
about
is
this bait.
crazy.
Looking pretty good.
Yo.
Here it is in the high mode.
Yeah, let's put it in high mode for you guys, just so you know what it's like. Obviously, we're not going to use in this mode as much. Alright, then disc on.
I mean, who would use high mode?
Unlock
I'm
it
kidding.
twice. There you go.
You can really see that point line up directly with the blade.
So you have sword from the.
Okay, it's
point
there,
from
but it's not
Xanthus,
extended
point
out as
from
much.
The blade, point from the armor, and then the body of the sword there.
And then you see that
use
huge
sword.
gap.
There's actually so many sword gimmick in this bay.
Just so many things.
Okay,
like
because
that.
Excalibur is Excalibur. It's a sword bay. What did you expect?
The full combo weight.
79.01
Wow.
grams. Wow, not too bad at all. So it doesn't weigh
That's
quite
pretty
as
heavy.
much
That's pretty
as
heavy.
Our Gatling Dragon, obviously, this was over 80 grams.
Right, Gatling
But
Dragon
still,
was
a
very
pretty good
heavy.
Combo, just less than a gram short from hitting that 80 mark.
And of course, we gotta do a test.
Alright, here we go. Test spin time.
Yeah, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh. Oh, not. This isn't even a test spin. This is like a whole. This is a whole exhibition fight. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Ooh, nice hits. Good hits, good hits. Okay.
It
Okay.
sounds like it's hitting hard, but oh yeah, stamina.
Ah, that's great. Stamina's alright. It's not the best, though.
Launcher feels so good.
Hopefully it doesn't wear.
Yeah, but I feel like something is missing though. Like, I really feel like a rubber driver will make this bay shine.
That's why I'm saying, like, extreme. Ooh.
Huge hit. Oh my god.
Oh, of course.
Dude, that was so bad.
Because Ragnarok just, like, waits it out. That's the thing. Ooh, okay. Brave Valkyrie. Why did I say Brave? Ultimate. Sorry, Valkyrie. Ooh.
Yeah, like we expected. It's hitting pretty hard.
So that is it for the unboxing on
Crazy.
Xcalibur.
So, final thoughts and opinions on Xiphoid Xcalibur. Definitely is also a worth it release. Like, I gotta say, I'm deeply impressed with Xiphoid Xcalibur. I'm so happy that we actually have an Excalibur back in Beyblade Burst again, similar to Kirby's. It's just that I kind of wish that the combo was a little bit more respected and handled a little bit differently. Because the thing is that the driver within of itself was kind of a letdown. There are concerns that I have with Xiphoid Excalibur, which are the BU lock. I really hope those tabs don't wear down, because those tabs, like, if they wear down, then that means the gimmick is technically useless. Originally, I did think that the gimmick was like a burst lock gimmick, which it technically is, but also not at the same time. Mainly this has to do with the metal sword, but I'm still happy to see that we have burst locks still implemented into Beyblade Burst, which is something that originated in Cho-Z. So it's so cool that we have it back. But overall, though, sword launcher looking pretty sick. Hopefully it doesn't wear down. And yeah, so that's gonna do it for the Beyblade Burst releases. At least for now. Because August, we are getting Achilles, so definitely I'm going to be dropping a video for Achilles. But I wanted to give the respect to Chain Kirby's and Xiphoid Excalibur, because I feel like those are bays that everybody wanted to return back onto the scene. Still a little disappointed that there's no anime, but at the same time, though, it's still pretty cool that we have the bay in its toy form. So gotta say, we're not exactly totally, you know, left out. But overall, though, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Oh, I know I did. And let me know what your thoughts and opinions about Xiphoid Excalibur. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.